One of the most broken new Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet was none other than Gholdengo. With an insane ability called Good as Gold that allows you to ignore any and all status moves, this Pokemon has been a threat all generation. And today, I want to bring Gholdengo onto the ladder and see if it still holds up despite all of the new additions we've gotten in Regulation D. If you guys enjoy, of course, like and subscribe for more, and with that said, let's get right into the team that we're going to be using today. So today's team is a Tailwind team consisting of Tornadus, Brambleghast, Urshifu-Rapid, Chi-Yu, Flutter Mane, and Gholdengo. Now I'm going to be honest, this was a really cool team, and it's really unfortunate that the creator of this team, Amelia Forbes, ended up having such a rough top 16 match at Worlds, where unfortunately they lost due to a disconnect across all of the top 16 tables and forced into sudden death. I was really hoping that Bramble won Worlds. I even actually thought this Pokemon might have had a good chance at it, and even made that call actually in my video where I uploaded Brambleghast right before my hiatus, and it was really sad to see because this is an incredible team. Amelia's been an incredible player all gen, and to see them robbed of this, of course, was really unfortunate. But I do still like the team nonetheless, and I wanted to get to feature it today. Gholdengo with choice specs like Mons like Chi-Yu and Flutter Mane, of course, allows Gholdengo to be a lot more of a breaker here, especially in the late game where a lot of teams can't really handle the combination of Gholdengo plus booster special attack Flutter Mane. And when you stack Beads of Ruin onto that, this forms a really terrifying special offensive core, which is pretty actually hard to rival. I can't think of a single special attacking Mon that might have even made this core more broken, because frankly we had all the tools for special attackers to run wild as early as Regulation C. With Tornadus, of course, this does mean that the Tailwind is going to be set by a lot more viable of a Pokemon than something like a Murkrow would have been in previous formats. Meanwhile, we do still have the Brambleghast, which is a great check to Urshifu-Rapid plus Torn cores, and then Urshifu-Rapid, of course, is great just because it's an amazing partner next to Tornadus. The final code will be on screen here, as well as a link to the paste in the description below. But with that said, let's get started with the battles. And we're here with game number 1. We're going to be doing a pretty good mirror match here at the very least. There looks to be 4 of the same mons, just they have a Hell Core over there, Gholdengo, Brambleghast. Honestly, not really huge on Bramble this matchup. It's decent for Urshifu Torn, but the thing is though, is I think that they'll see that and maybe not lead it. Though I guess to be fair, this could actually do decent into Flutter Chi-Yu. I do get a very free attack off into that. They can't Heat Wave, so they would have to literally single target with Chi-Yu, which could actually save my Torn. I could actually lead off with Torn Bramble. I think I've talked myself into it. I do have the Gholdengo, which is a decent backline into Hail at the very least, and then I think I'm going to bring Chi-Yu. I don't really like the Flutter this matchup. It's not terrible, but I feel like I just have better mons. I don't really like the Urshifu this matchup. It doesn't do great into Hail, and also their Urshifu behind a Veil will be a lot scarier than mine will be. So yeah, good luck and fun to my opponent. This will be a little bit scary of a matchup, but I do think that Gholdengo can actually do a good job at cleaning. The only threatening mon to that will be Chi-Yu, and I guess kind of Urshifu depending on what I lock, but I feel like Urshifu could still definitely be muscle passed thanks to just the choice specs plus the Tera Steel. Alright, so what does my opponent lead off with? My opponent leads off with Urshifu, and I didn't actually see the other one. Urshifu Torn. Okay, perfect, so this works out fine. I'm gonna go for the Bleak Windstorm here, and then just get off some, actually I'll go for Tailwind, boost my Bramble up, and then I think I'm gonna go for, kind of want to just go for Power Whip right into the Urshifu. I feel like that's my best play. I don't really think I have another viable play. Now they are Urshifu Single Strike, which actually does make this a bit scarier. However, at the same time though, if they don't attack with a non-wind move, my Bramble does have a Focus Sash here. And depending on the speed of that Urshifu, I could even just Shadow Sneak it on the following turn. They do seem to outpace. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I might still go for the Shadow Sneak anyway, because really, what other play am I making here? Okay. So Power Up gets avoided. Great. That's fine. We'll go for Bleak Wind here. And then I think I'm going to go for Shadow Sneak here. Not that I think I need to, but just why not? If they predict and go for Sucker Punch, I guess I could play it by my opponent, but again, I don't really think there's a better play to be made here. So we're just going to go for this. I feel like it has my highest return, so let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. I think they're probably just going to go for a Wicked Blow again, but this should help in case of like a Sash Urshifu for whatever reason. I know occasionally they do run Focus Sash, but at the same time, I know that Band has been a lot more popular this gen, and even AV has been pretty decently popular. But really, as long as Torn stays around, I think it can actually get some good mileage out of this next turn. This being a single strike Urshifu though, does mean that my Gholdengo actually has a much better matchup, and I can just go for Tera Steel into this pretty viably. But we'll have to see. They're going to withdraw Torn this turn. That's perfect, actually. Withdrawing Torn is probably the best thing that could be happening here. They're going to go into Chi-Yu. Okay, Chi-Yu is actually really fine, because I Shadow Sneaked into the Urshifu spot. So we'll more than take that. We hit off some good damage, and Bleak Wind Storm is going to miss. Please, no. Okay, thank God. It hit the Urshifu. That was the important one to hit, so I'm okay with that. I'm actually fine with missing Chi-Yu. I don't really care too much about hitting that. I'm going to proceed to just probably Shadow Sneak into whatever Mon comes in on that last slot, because there's no reason to actually target the Chi-Yu with Shadow Sneak. Flutter Mane. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is fine. We're going to proceed to go for... I'm going to go for another Bleak Wind here, and then I'm going to go for Shadow Sneak into the Flutter Mane. I don't really feel the need to Tera. I know that Tera does help a lot with the Shadow Sneak damage, but frankly, my greater concern would be if this is Focus Sash. So I don't have a reason to Tera, waste my Bramble, and then just die. Also, with the +1 anyway, I should deal enough damage to realistically just wear this into Rachel Gholdengo, and then just go for like a Tera Steel here, but I'll probably need to kill the Chi-Yu first, which I'm okay with that. Their Chi-Yu shouldn't be too much of a threat, and I can bring in my own Chi-Yu actually and probably get some good damage off. Tera Fairy. Okay, Tera Fairy is whatever. I don't really care a ton about Tera Fairy. It should be pretty easy to muscle past. Okay, so they're going to get Shadow Sneak here. It should do like half. Yeah, it does about half. And then they're going to go for Gleam here. Their Gleam probably will not kill Torn, so as long as I outpace their Chi-Yu, which I should be able to, especially seeing that they were not booster speed, I should be able to outpace that and kill off the Flutter Mane here, which should be pretty good. That should be pretty good, actually. That's some decent damage on Chi-Yu. Can we get a speed drop? Speed drop would be decent, actually. I know it's not super important, but it would be a nice thing to get into their Chi-Yu with my Gholdengo. Unfortunate. Okay. It is what it is. I do still have my backline left, though. The Gholdengo will be a little bit concerned. But thankfully, they might be choiced, so I can maybe bank off of that. I'm gonna definitely have to Tera the Gholdengo, though, 100%. And just hope that's not a... Well, that is a choice Chi-Yu. Because if it's a choice Chi-Yu, I could actually probably take these hits. Specifically, I would need to bank on Specs, though, which I don't know if I like banking on Specs Chi-Yu. Okay, we're gonna go for Tera Steel, though, and just make it rain, and then I think I'm gonna click... Heat Wave. I feel like I definitely have to click Heat Wave here, yeah. I just need to get damage off, really, that's all it is. The Tera Steel should hopefully help with picking off these, assuming that, again, I outpace here. Now, my Gholdengo is definitely pretty slow. I would bet on this thing being slower than whatever my opponent's Chi-Yu hits, because we're 121. Yeah, they would literally need to be, like, no speed to actually get outpaced here. They're gonna go for Bleak Wind. Okay, Bleak Wind is whatever. Heat Wave goes off. Okay. Oh, you're kidding. We missed the Chi-Yu. That was probably the important one to hit there, to be honest. Dark Pulse does go off. Don't kill, don't kill, don't kill. Okay, unfortunate. So, it's really sad, because I think if I hit the Bleak Wind and the Heat Wave into that Chi-Yu, I think I could have maybe won this turn if I banked on a... To be fair, okay, so I would have needed to bank on a Bleak Wind dodge. My opponent is probably just going to kill with Dark Pulse, though. I'm assuming this is a Specs Chi-Yu, because otherwise I would have guessed they would have hit E-Wave last turn. But, yeah, they're going to go for Dark Pulse. It's probably going to kill. Oh, shit, it didn't kill. So, how much damage does Chi-Yu take? Yeah, if we hit the Heat Wave, we won the game. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Ugh, okay, that sucks. If we hit the Heat Wave or the Bleak Wind, we won the game right there. Or if we just hit both beforehand, she would have just been dead, and I could have just killed, but that would have probably banked her on Dark Pulse. Whatever. Unfortunate. Lost game 1. We'll see you guys in game number 2, though. Peace out, guys. Going into game 2, we're taking on a bit of a Series 1 team. In terms of my lead here, I feel like Gholdengo could actually be a pretty decent lead early on. Their only check to it would be their own Gholdengo. I think I might actually try and take advantage of that, though, and lead off with Chi-Yu and Torn, and then go with Gholdengo backline. I do still like leading off with Torn, mostly just to try and make sure that my Gholdengo can outpace everything, including like the Pawmot, or I guess in case that's like a Dragon Dance Excalibur that could be important. I'm gonna go with this. I was going to say that the Mudsteel could actually be a little bit of an issue, that's why you'd bring your Chief to just get through it. But realistically though, if I bring a team of all special attackers, that Mudsteel is actually pretty it's just a non-issue, it's just a non-issue really. So we should be fine there, so I'm not worried about the Mudsteel. Vaporeon can get muscle passed easily by my team, especially with the Flutter Mane just dealing insane damage next to Chi-Yu, or with the Gholdengo just going for Spec Shadow Ball, which is probably going to be the Specs move of choice here. It's going to depend, but I mean, they have no Ghost Check. They have one Steel, well, they have 2 Steel Resists. They're both kind of easy for Gholdengo to muscle pass anyway. On one of them, I could probably honestly just trick away my specs against, which would be Vaporeon, and that's probably the best outcome, is just tricking specs on with that Vaporeon, because that actually gives me so many different options, because not being choiced here would probably be my best play. Though at the same time, though, Spec Shadow Ball will probably still 2-hit KO every single Pokemon on the team, even if Chi wasn't next to it, so I'm not too scared here. Regardless, though, good luck and fun to my opponent. I'm kind of curious to see what they end up bringing for their lead. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be like Bax and then something else, maybe a Bomb Snow. Baxcalibur Palma, okay, that's close enough. Torn Chi-Yu on lead. I think I'm just going to Tera the Chi-Yu, to be honest. We are Covert Cloak on Torn, right? Because if yes, I'm just going to Tera the Chi-Yu. Yep, perfect, okay. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to proceed to go for Tailwind here. And then I'm going to go for Tera Chi-Yu. And now, actually no, I'm going to go for Protect on Chi-Yu. I don't really have a reason to go for the Tera just yet. In fact, I think actually saving it for next turn could maybe deem Palmot to go for a Mach Punch into me if it has it. And I think that'd be even better. They're going to fake out Torn. Okay, so they're wasting the turn here. Perfect. And I think this will give me a lot better field positioning too, because I couldn't really KO Bax with anything right now. But if I dual target Bax, I'm in a lot better spot. Especially since they are going to let me just KO the, well, let the Torn drop here. So they're probably Dice Bax, which is truthfully a lot easier for me to KO. Now I could just go into Gholdengo, and I can go for the Tera Ghost. Tera Ghost, Chi-Yu going for Heat Wave, plus the Gholdengo going for Make It Rain should just KO everything here. I can't see a way that my opponent actually has to take this hit. And again, this helps a lot with just making sure that even if they are going for Mach Punch here, I can guarantee this hit goes off. So I'm going to go for that. The Heat Wave plus the Make It Rain should deal substantial damage to everything in the field. Even if they switch, I don't really care. Because even if like a Vaporeon comes in, let's say, Vaporeon will still probably get brought down to half, which is just really good damage in itself. And then I can kill it with Dark Pulse in the following turn. So I'm more than okay with that. My opponent is not going to switch. They might still Tera, to be fair, but what Tera type could they go for besides, I guess, Tera Water Bax? They would actually be kind of threatening here. And honestly, even if they go for Tera Water Bax, they can't really KO Gholdengo with any hit at that point. And meanwhile, the Chi-Yu, I'm fine with Chi-Yu dropping. They are going to Tera here. That's perfectly fine. It's probably going to be Tera Water Bax. Yep, it's going to be Bax. Is it going to be Tera Water, though? Oh, they're ground. Oh, so they're trying to go for Tera Blast into Gholdengo. Either just trying to boost Earthquake. Either way, I'm okay with that, because again, Bax will not survive to see the end of this turn. Because, yep, they were definitely not AV. Honestly, even if they were AV, I still don't think they took that hit, frankly. Burn on Palmot doesn't actually matter at all. I'm a little sad that I did waste the Tera here, though, because Chi-Yu could have maybe not Tera'd, but I still think this was the safer play, just preserving health in case of, like, priority attacks. So we've KO'd both Pokemon here. Gholdengo will probably just switch out here just to reset drops, and then Chi-Yu will probably just go for a Protect this turn, just to preserve Chi-Yu. But Gholdengo did its job. It KO'd both Mons on lead with a very easy spread move. Flutter Mane could have done that too, but I think that realistically there was a lot more risk with Flutter Mane, since a lot more viable Tera types on Baxcalibur, things like Poison and Steel, or Fire, all three of those are really common types. Gholdengo only had to worry about Tera Water as a common type, and even then that's fallen a lot out of usage anyway. My opponent is going to proceed to bring in Gholdengo Vaporeon. Okay, so I am going to switch here into Flutter Mane, and then I'm going to proceed to go for a... I think I just go for a Protect here, because realistically, even if I do lose my... Oh, they just cancel. Okay. Well, solid. We'll see you guys in game number 3. Peace out, guys. Moving into game number 3, we're taking on another Tailwind team. This one consists of Mimikyu, Regidrago, Galar Moltres, Torn, Gholdengo, and Hisuian Decidueye. Now, Hisuian Decidueye is an actually interesting Pokemon. I do like this one a lot. I kind of wanted to explore it, but unfortunately, I ran out of time. It would have been something that if I didn't take a couple weeks off, this would have been touched. But we'll have to try it in Reg E, I guess. In terms of my opponent's lead, I think again that I feel like Chi-Yu Flutter actually could just be a good lead. Realistically, just trying to outmaneuver the Regidrago or maybe force it into a shitty Tera Blast. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I feel like it still is actually really weak to... I'm going to lead off with Flutter Mane Torn. I'm going to bring Chi-Yu and Gholdengo in the back here. It's been really weird not bringing Urshifu to games, but like I'm not bringing Urshifu to this matchup realistically. There's not a lot that it pressures. I think maybe game 1 I could have brought it, but I definitely was not bringing it to either game 2 or 3. I feel like that there were just better Pokemon here. But it's kind of funny just because a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Urshifu's really good right now. And it is. It's objectively really good right now. But I haven't had a single game where I've had to bring Urshifu to. I think it's a lot more of a best of 3 mon, to be fair. But regardless, Moltres and Mimikyu. Okay, Moltres Mimikyu is actually really easy to muscle. Okay. So against this lead in particular, I think that my play is always just to go for the Bleak Wind here, plus the Dazzling Gleam, and just try and get off raw damage turn 1. I don't really care about going for Tera here, because Tera doesn't benefit me at all. They're going to probably have to Tera the Moltres, frankly, which I'm okay with that. Nope, they're not going to Tera the Moltres, so they're just going to let Moltres go down. I'm pretty okay with this, actually. Moltres going down is perfectly fine, and then Torn should be able to muscle this with the Bleak Wind Storm here. Perfect. Don't miss the Moltres, don't miss the Moltres. Are you fucking kidding? I hate Torn so much right now. Torn has been missing too many moves. Okay. That kind of sucks. The Mimikyu was probably Mental Herb, so I'm not too concerned with having maybe misplayed there, but oh my goodness. Okay. We're gonna go for a Protect here, and then, actually, hold on. What's my speed on this? It might be beneficial to side Scary Face. Ooh, we can side Scary Face and get some mileage. Okay. We're gonna go for Tera Fairy. We're gonna go for Dazzling Gleam, and we're gonna go for side Scary Face. We definitely underpace the Moltres at least, which is my big concern. Mimikyu could probably Shadow Sneak anyway, which is whatever, but we'll be Tera it, and Mimikyu definitely cannot get that KO with the Tera up. I know the calcs in Mimikyu way too well, even if it is Life Orb. And if it's Life Orb, honestly, I'm still very fine with this, because Life Orb Mimikyu, while they do have Trick Room advantage, I guess, right now, isn't too concerning. And I could actually probably just win con the game off of Scary Facing my Flutter Mane past their entire Trick Room core, so I'm okay with this. But Scary Face will go off. We can now get the Gleam first, which means that Moltres definitely drops. And Mimikyu, ooh, just barely avoids. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, it is what it is. Mimikyu still can't kill. Oh, they're gonna go for Curse. Ooh, they're going for Curse into what? Why would they Curse? Oh, they put a Curse on Flutter Mane. Really? I feel like any attack they went for there would have been better. They might have been trying to just KO Flutter Mane, I guess, but even still, would Sneak have not been the better play there? I feel like Sneak... so, I guess long-term Curse will probably be the benefiting thing because of what I clicked here, but I think in any other scenario, that was the wrong play. Gholdengo's gonna come in here, and what's the partner spot gonna be? Regidrago, okay. I'm gonna go for a Protect here, and I'm gonna go for a Bleak Wind Storm here. Just getting off damage at this point. My Flutter Mane will objectively underpace, and I want to try and scout for Tera. It does not look like they're gonna go for any sort of Tera here, which is fine. They're gonna go for Protect on Regidrago as well. Okay, good to know. So they are trying to kill my Flutter Mane here, which is fine. I'm hoping they kill Gholdengo instead. Ooh, just barely. And I Gholdengo Torn. Okay. Torn Bleak Wind Storm here. Can we get some damage on Gholdengo at least? Like, any damage at all? Okay. That's something. That's something at least. Okay. So, in terms of the Gholdengo, I'm gonna be honest, I kinda wanna just go for Dazzling Gleam here. What's my backline? Chi-Yu and... Okay. So we know that they're not choiced, which means they're probably gonna go for Tera this turn. I'm actually just gonna go for Shadow Ball. I'm gonna go for Shadow Ball, and I'm gonna go for Bleak Wind here. They're definitely gonna go for Tera on that Regidrago though, so there's no reason to go for a Fairy move. It's definitely Tera Steel. Maybe Ground, but it's probably Steel. Specifically this, it's probably like Dragon Energy, Tera Blast, and then Earth Power. If they just have Earth Power though, that's also fine. But this means that because of the fact they are going for Tera on Regidrago, that I can guarantee just kill the Gholdengo here though. We are booster special attack, and unlike Gholdengo, my stabs don't make me drop mine. So Flutter Mane does pick this off, and then Gholdengo can just muscle past this very easily on the following turn. Tera Blast will go off, that's fine. What I'll probably do is I'm just going to go right into my Gholdengo here, and then just go for the... I'm just going to go for the Chi-Yu as the hard switch while I go for Shadow Ball into that. The reason being is while Chi-Yu can hit this with super effective attacks, one, my Gholdengo matchup defensively will be a bit better, with that being the mon that I guess this would be targeting. But more importantly too, by going for this, I have a 100% accurate way to damage this thing, which might not sound like a big deal, but when we're comparing Gholdengo Shadow Ball versus Chi-Yu going for Dark Pulse, Gholdengo Shadow Ball will probably hit a little bit harder, especially considering the fact that, again, I feel like that this will just also have a better chance at taking the hit defensively. So I think this is still my better play, in my opinion. I guess it's kind of debatable depending on what coverage they have. and how slow this Regidrago is, but I still do feel confident that this is going to be my correct play here. Shadow Ball is going to go off this turn. Worst case scenario, I think Trick Room ends, so we can always just win with, oh perfect, they went for Dragon Energy anyway. Okay, perfect, they DC'd. Alright, this should bring us into Master Ball at the very least, which is nice. But we definitely won that game. There's no way in hell that we didn't win that game. If the game doesn't give this to me, then my opponent sucks. I don't think they're going to give this to me. What the fuck? There's no shot. They better not be robbing me. That would have been the game that put me into Master Ball. So they better not be robbing me of that. Come on. Come on. Come on. We got the points. We're going to continue. Come on. Give me... Okay, thank God. They put me Master Ball. I was really concerned there. Alright, well, we have one more game. We'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, so for our final game of the day and our first game in Master Ball, we're taking on a pretty nice team. I don't really need to actually lead off with Torn here. This is probably just a not Torn game in general. This is finally a Bramble game, too, for that matter. Not a Bramble game, Urshifu game, for that matter. Which is weird, because they have Gastrodon, but I feel like it's still my best mod. Yeah, I think I just lead off with Flutter Chi-Yu. I could also just lead off with, like Flutter Gholdengo. Really, any of these four on league to be decent. My greatest concern would probably be with like Urshifu and then like Flutter Mane. Yeah, I still think it's my play because I can go for Tera on Chi-Yu and be fine. Chi-Yu I think is definitely gonna be my most ideal Tera mon here though, but we'll have to see. Chi-Yu outpacing everything besides the Flutter Mane will be pretty beneficial though. And again, I could just get off some really good damage into whatever Pokemon that my opponent leads off with. I'm anticipating probably like some sort of Heatran lead. Flutter Mane can Gambit. Okay, close enough. That's actually really terrifying though. Okay. So now I need to Tera the Flutter Mane. I think I should go for Tera Flutter Mane and go for Gleam plus Heat Wave and just get off raw damage as quickly as possible. That can Gambit will be a bit of a problem, but I can still muscle that. We're gonna go for Gleam here. We're gonna go for Heat Wave. Flutter Mane can't KO either of my Pokemon here, thankfully, so I'm okay with this. Meanwhile, I guess, so their only way of KOing me would probably be going for Sucker Punch anyway, and then going for that plus like a Dazzling Gleam, or not Dazzling, like a Moonblast. That would be terrifying, but to be fair, I could still definitely get some good mileage out of that anyway. So we'll have to see. It also depends on how slow their Flutter Mane is, because if they're 180 or slower, I might actually just outpace them anyway. They are going to Tera as well. It's probably going to be Flutter Mane. If it's King Gambit, I'm okay with that, though. It is going to be King Gambit. Is it going to be Water? It's Fairy. I guess Fairy is fine, but they're still probably going to drop in all honesty, and that makes them very weak to Gholdengo on the next turn, so I'm okay with that. Sucker Punch goes off here, doesn't even do half. How much are they going to do with Gleam? Ooh, perfect. We just barely take that. Perfect. So I think I can just rip their team in half at this point. We're just going to KO both these Pokemon here in all honesty, because there's no way in hell that either took this. Perfect. Okay. So what I think we'll do is I'm probably going to let Flutter Mane go down in all honesty. Actually, if they bring in Rillaboom, I think I'll preserve. If they bring in any other Pokemon, I think I'm just going to let Flutter Mane go down and then protect Chi-Yu. Protecting it on Chi-Yu either way, I think, is going to be my best play. Keeping this around for Gholdengo will be huge, especially when I'm clicking Spec Shadow Ball into every other Pokemon on that backline. They're going to bring in Landorus. Okay. Landorus is fine. And they're going to bring in Gastrodon. Okay. So, Lando coming in, I will say... I do need to actually raw attack with Flutter Mane. Yeah, I need to attack with Flutter Mane. I need to call the fact that it's not going to be Scarf. If that is Scarf, I'm in a bit of a pickle. But this is still my best play. They're going to be Tantrum. Ooh. They're locking into Scarf Tantrum. Okay. So that's fine. It's a little scary, but it is fine. We can make that work. Ugh. Okay, yeah, so it is Scarf Landorus, though. Thankfully, they are, at the very least... They do have Lando locked into that, which is good to know. We know it is Scarfed. I could bring in my Urshifu here, though. And I'm just gonna go for Close Combat plus Dark Pulse. Essentially, if my opponent's letting me just KO the Gastrodon, I'm okay with that. And then if they're gonna go for Urshifu instead and try and just damage that because Urshifu can bully the Landorus late game, then I'm okay with that as well. Okay, perfect. So Chi-Yu is gonna drop. It's a little unfortunate, but that does mean that my Urshifu will take this for power a bit better. So give and take, I guess. Close Combat will go off here. Perfect, so that does the half that we need. And they disconnect. Alright, well, that's another win for us, because again, I don't think that my opponent took that plus Make It Rain. I think I could have honestly just went for Specs Make It Rain at that point, and then that plus the close combat would have been fine. They went for Yawn anyway. Oh, my opponent choked. My opponent choked really bad. Yeah, we won the game. Perfect. Okay. So, I know it's a little bit of a shorter video, but I am going to wrap it up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Consider becoming a channel member for today. There's a members poll up right now that is going to be counted for the next 24 hours to figure out our first member Pokemon of the DLC. The options are going to be Clefairy, Alolan Ninetales, Kommo-o, and Mandibuzz, so make sure to get your guys' votes in. I decided on only Pokemon that were officially confirmed through trailers. There are a lot of cool ones that got released through at least leaks, but I didn't want to include those in polls in case anyone was trying to avoid spoilers, of course. So make sure you guys click that member button if you want to get a chance to vote on the first member Pokemon we'll be discussing for the DLC. With that said, of course, shoutouts to our channel members being Zig0, Mia, Timo Mueller, Sam, Ralplays, Obo, Johanna Speed, Double, Endless Gadgets, and Bambi. Your guys' support on the channel is greatly appreciated. And with that said, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, peace out, guys.